Good morning. How's everyone doing? So, let me ask you this. What do you think of when you think of the mafia, fresh mozzarella, Maserati? What comes to my mind? Italian culture. So, what I have to tell you is about family, fashion, art, and food. So, what I'm going to start off telling you is about family. The Italian culture is huge on family. They have extremely high standards for their family. They have such an extended family that it's not just like our nuclear families that we call it here in the United States, where it's just the mom, dad, and children. They branch out to all of the family members. So if your mom and your dad were married, they would use their siblings as well and bring them all in. So they have a huge family, and they use those family members for emotional support and financial support. So that's how they use each other to help one another. If you also have heard of the mafia, which is also known as the Costa Nostrosa, I believe is how it's pronounced, is one of the hugest family organizations over in Italy. It's located in Sicily. They are the biggest mafia, which, if you know anything about the mafia, is a very large crime industry. They do all kinds of things that we don't like to hear about. Other thing about family dynamics is that they believe that the family is the center of everything. They think that their families mean everything to them. So when someone passes away, the entire family goes, or if a celebration happens, the entire family goes. So when something like that happens, they usually celebrate it with food. So going on with food, when you think of food in Italy, I personally think of this: pasta. I made some fresh pasta last night and saved a little leftovers to show you guys. So this is some fresh mushroom stuffed pasta with ricotta, which is also an Italian pasta. Pastas are known all around Italy, but their main location of pastas was actually in the central part of Italy. So like in central Italy, it was mainly like spaghettis and pizzas and stuff like that. And then in southern Italy, it was all like the tomatoes and the capers and the peppers and the olives and the olive oil and artichoke and eggplants and the ricotta. Who doesn't like ricotta? In the northern regions, which are more up in the mountainous area, they had like fish, potatoes, rice, sausage, and a lot of their cheeses. Like, who doesn't like Parmesan, Parmigiano Reggiano? When you go to Olive Garden, what do they give you? Parmesan. So I also made some of these. I like to cook, so of course my thing would have to be food. So these are little kebabs, and they have fresh mozzarella, prosciutto, avocado, and tomatoes, and then they just have a balsamic vinaigrette reduction on them. They're quite tasty. If you guys want the recipe, let me know and I'll show you how to make them. Also, when it comes to food, you always drink wine. So they said in 1996 there was 2 million gallons of wine exported from Italy. When you are invited to dinner parties in Italy, you always bring wine. Dinner parties, any type of celebration, you bring wine. That's what you do. The etiquette is, if you don't want more wine, you leave wine in your glass. If you want more wine, you keep drinking. They make sure, but when you do that, make sure that when you bring your wine, that you bring a good vintage, not quantity. So, good wine, not more wine. So, then when thinking of good things, we're going to talk about art and fashion. So, when it comes to art, who doesn't think of some of the most beautiful things in the world? I think of the Sistine Chapel, which was painted by Michelangelo. He spent so much time on that, and he did such an amazing job. Have you guys seen pictures of that? And then there's all kinds of different art places around Italy, like the Tower of Pisa. They have the Colosseums. They have all the different types of castles that you can see. And then, of course, they started opera. There's still several classic operas that they still play all over. You can still see several operas in even the Des Moines area if you wanted to see them. They perform them at the Civic Center and stuff like that. Then when you think of fashion, I always think of some of the name brands like Prada, Versace, Armani. I have a hard time saying that word for some reason. And then Gucci. Those are some of the hugest name brands, and they have fragrances, clothes. You see them all over the TV. Then you think cars. Well, I think cars because I'm kind of a car girl. So you think Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati. I like me some cars. Be careful though. When you're in Italy, some of the police drive Lamborghinis. But when it comes to fashion, they all have something called the Bella Figura, which is what they call their standard of good fashion. So they want to make sure that you have good enough fashion to be out in public. So you wouldn't want to go out in public not looking nice, because that makes standards for what you look like, what your family is like. So you wouldn't want to look bad to reflect on your family. So if your family doesn't have good enough money to make yourself look nice, how are they going to feed, dress, or even be able to support your family? Those things are very important in Italy. And then also, if you don't have a good fashion sense, you're not getting that Bella Figura. So it all ties in when it comes to your Italian culture. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. And again, if you want these recipes, let me know. I'll gladly send them to you. Have a great day.